Zoom, but we'll keep that in mind as we press forward. We'll go straight into the academic committee. Ms. Griffin?
Thank you, Mr. Brodell. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, thank you. I want to thank all of you for participating in the academic committee meeting. I also want to let you know I am at school today and I may have some bells go off through this meeting. And if so, I'm going to mute once I start hearing it, and then I'll turn it back on when they end. So thank you all for being here. We will take action on items 11 through 21 as a group, and I will ask if there are any questions before we move on to the next item. Our first item is agenda item number 11. It is a new program, a technical certificate and certificate of proficiency in marine technology by Arkansas State University BB. Dr. Jesse Walker will provide background for this agenda item and respond to any questions.
Good morning. As stated earlier, the first agenda item in marine technology is being proposed by Arkansas State BB. It's a unique program in the state in that it will offer unique training for students in terms of marine technology. Also, it's been developed by the Power Sport Technology faculty at Arkansas State BB. Their initial enrollment projection for the program is around 25 students in the summer of 2021. Currently in the state, there's only one existing similar program at National Park, and their requirements for viability will be summer 2026 with 15 students. Dr. Jason Goodner, the Chief Academic Officer at Arkansas State BB, will provide additional information. Dr. Goodner?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Walker, and thank you to the board for allowing me to speak briefly about this program. As Dr. Walker shared, it is a program that was developed through our Power Sports Faculty and Advisory Council. The members of that advisory council are also watercraft dealers and service centers, and they have shared their desire for or challenge with hiring individuals that have marine technology background. And consequently, when we started having these conversations, we were contacted by Yamaha Motor Corporation, their marine division, seeking our help in helping them train marine technicians as well. And so the curriculum that was developed was also developed in concert with many of the inline certifications, entry-level certifications that Yamaha Marine provides. This program will be housed at our Heber Springs campus, which is a short 10-minute drive from Greer's Ferry Lake, and we anticipate developing partnerships with a marina or two around the lake to even provide boat slough access for further training. In addition to offering the program to our secondary students, or excuse me, post-secondary, we intend to work with the Office of Skills Development in hopes of offering this program to post-secondary students, secondary students within a year or two. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there is a need.
I have a question. That question is Yamaha going to help with the expenses of this program?
Yes, sir. The initial funding will be provided through the Governor's Ready for Life initiative, but Yamaha is prepared to donate engines, boat hulls as needed, and provide any additional training to instructors to support their certification requirements as well.
Are there any
I have a follow-up on that. Did we get any indication as to the expanded need? I see the required graduates by summer of 26 is 15. Did Yamaha or any of your other local dealers there give you any idea of the immediate need and future need for these graduates?
Absolutely. One of our partners is in such need of marine technicians. They have 10 openings today. Of the business and industry partners we're working with, they intend to hire between 30 to 40 within the next 3 to 5 years. We also did some research through the Economic Deployment and Employment economic development and employment planning system. And their data suggests in the state of Arkansas a 9.4% growth rate for marine technicians within the next 5 years. So there is a need. And with us being, if approved, the second college in the state to offer such a program, I think there's evidence to suggest there is a need for it.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? If not, thank you, Dr. Goodner, for that information. So we'll move on to agenda item number 12. It's on page 12.1 in your agenda book. A new program, Associate of Applied Science and Information Technology Systems by East Arkansas Community College. Dr. Walker will provide background for this agenda item and respond to any questions.
This program is being offered by East Arkansas Community College as a program designed to prepare students for entry-level positions in technical fields, particularly relating to computer maintenance, computer repair, and computer diagnostic, and supporting an existing program in microcomputer maintenance and repair technical certificate program. The institution has indicated they have sufficient funding through grant funding to support the new program, as well as acquire new faculty. Currently in the state, there are 7 institutions offering similar programs that include Arkansas Tech University, University of Arkansas Fort Smith, University of Arkansas Little Rock, University of Arkansas Monticello, Arkansas Northeastern College, Arkansas State BB, and Arkansas State Mount Home. These enrollments in those programs range anywhere from 9 to 20 students. Currently, they're projecting initial enrollment of 7 to 10 students this summer, and viability standards by summer 2026 will be around 12 students for this program. Dr. Robert Summers, Chief Academic Officer for East Arkansas Community College, will add additional information for this agenda item. Dr. Summers?
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
My
sir.
name is Robert Summers, and I'm the Vice President for Vocational, Occupational, and Technical Education here at East Arkansas Community College. And this is a program that we've been working on for a couple of years now. And we appreciate the board's consideration, and we're confident that this will be a viable program that will meet the needs of our community. If you look at the Arkansas Division of Workforce Services in-demand data right now, it shows that computer user support specialist and computer network support specialist are the #1 and 2 IT jobs in the state, with over 1,000 vacancies. As we visited with our advisory committees from across our campus, every one of our advisory committees in the industries that they represent say that this IT support is needed. This includes manufacturing, healthcare, retail, and education. Since the COVID crisis has required every organization to expand with virtual opportunities, the need for this type of a program has grown significantly this past year. We do offer certificates, CPs and TCs in related fields. This program would allow us to do an associate degree, give us a chance to allow our students to continue on their pathway and have more depth in the skills that we're providing. As far as the budget goes, we have already budgeted for a faculty position, and we look that by the second semester, we will be having to add additional adjuncts. EACC was awarded a regional workforce grant in the amount of $151,652 with the specific purpose of being able to buy the equipment and the infrastructure we need to develop this program. Also, we've been notified that we will receive funds through the governor's Ready for Life initiative, and about $100,000 of those funds is also earmarked to help us with the salary and the training for IT faculty. The Arkansas Occupational Employment and Wage Survey for 2020 shows that the average annual mean wage in Arkansas is about $42,690. The mean wage for a computer user support specialist is $43,470, and for a computer network support specialist is $47,760. So both of these occupations are well above the state mean. I think we're prepared to get this program going, and with your support, we appreciate your approval.
Okay, are there any questions for Dr. Summers?
Summers, the question I would have, and I commend you for this program, and I understand the great need for IT people in our state. I guess I'm just surprised that your projected enrollment is 7 to 10 students this summer and 12 beginning in the fall. I would think it'd be 25 or 30.
We projected low on purpose. COVID has been a crazy year for us right now. And when we prepared this program several months ago, it was difficult for us to get any students on our campus. So we probably projected those a little bit low. And I think those numbers will be higher than that. But we wanted to make sure that we were honest in our evaluation based on the current environment.
Yeah, I hope you can exceed those numbers.
I think we will.
Any other questions?
Has local industry been involved in helping you develop this program curriculum at all?
Again, we have visited with advisory committees, and not only that, I'm also on part of an ACC IT work group. So we have great support in that, like Mr. Rick Messingale that's at North Arc. So there have been industry partners, plus there have been educational partners that have helped us develop this.
I commend you especially for looking at the salaries of these students, because that 42,000, I mean, it's well above the mean salary for a lot of positions throughout the Delta region. So I think that's wonderful. I was asking about the industry partners because I would hope that there's somewhat of a pipeline, so that way, as soon as these students are finishing the program, they have a place of employment. So you're not losing these talented individuals to outside the area.
Nearly everyone, we don't have a lot of big manufacturing facilities in the Forest City area, but we have hospitals, we have retail, we have banks, and every one of those has at least 1 or 2 IT positions open at this point.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no other questions. Thank you, Dr. Summers, for the great information.
Thank you.
We will move on to agenda item number 13, a new program, Associate of Applied Science and Health Sciences by Northwest Arkansas Community College. Dr. Walker will provide background information for this item.
Thank you. Just as a FYI, they're mowing behind me, so I will mute myself after each agenda item until it stops. So this is the Associate of Applied Science and Health Sciences from Northwest Arkansas Community College. It's designed as a general education feeder program into health professions for Northwest Arkansas Community College. It's a unique program in that it provides a gateway for students into health professions, particularly those students who would like to be nurses or respiratory therapists and so forth. If students aren't successful in transferring, decide not to transfer, they still also have options within this degree program to complete the requirements for an EMT or a CNA program as well. The program is, the institution has indicated that the program startup costs will be very minimal to almost none. Currently in Arkansas, we have only 3 similar programs, one at the University of Arkansas Pulaski Technical Community College, one at National Park College, and one at South Arkansas Community College. They're projecting initial enrollment in summer 2021 of 100 students, and the required viability will be met if they get the initial enrollment for sure. Dr. Ricky Tompkins, who's the Chief Academic Officer for Northwest Arkansas Community College, will provide additional information to the board at this point. Dr. Tompkins?
Thanks, Dr. Walker. Good morning. Dr. Ricky Tompkins, Northwest Arkansas Community College. Yeah, this program for us it's really in the process of just making sure that our students have pathways to success. Our health professions programs, they're very competitive. We have more applicants than we have, for instance, slots in nursing, and we're increasing those slots now. But we want to make sure for a couple of things. Number one, that a student who is interested in health professions has a path to be able to leave here with an associate of applied science, that they can go directly to the workforce, because there are a lot of jobs within healthcare that doesn't necessarily fall into nursing or respiratory therapy or physical therapy, those types of things. There are a lot of different jobs out there. The second thing is what we have found as well, is we have students who are accepted into the programs, get into the middle of some of these health profession programs and realize they love health professions, but amazingly enough, they don't like to work with patients. And if you're in health professions and you're nursing or one of those direct service jobs, you've got to work with patients. And so this provides them an opportunity to stay in health professions, to be employed in health professions. And we have plenty of jobs that are open in the area in Northwest Arkansas on the administrative side and those types of things. But be able to get a job where they're going to be successful and happy. So this is something that I think is going to be a great benefit to our students. Literally, virtually no cost for us. The general education is taught on the gen ed side for us. So general education faculty would teach it. Health professions, we're not going to be increasing the number of faculty there because we have those slots already. So it's just a win-win for students. It's a win-win for the state. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question. I hate to spend so much time on these enrollments, but you look down here and we say projected enrollment beginning in the summer of 21 is 100 students.
Yes, sir.
And then 3 years later, we expect to have 18 graduates.
Well, some of that is going to be, you're going to have some students who are going to have started this program and they're going to transition into the Associate of Science or Associate of Applied Science in Nursing or Respiratory Therapy. Do I think those graduation numbers will be much higher than that? I do, because most likely what we're going to have is we're going to have students leave here with 2 different majors. Those are going to be those students who are actually get out of those health professions track and just solely sit there in this one. But I can see those graduation numbers be much higher than that. Again, we have students already asking us about this program, and we haven't advertised this nor put it out there. So it's a great question. I think those graduation numbers will be significantly higher than that.
And the summer of 21 is only a month or 2 away now. Are you still feeling good about that 100?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have several cohorts already that's going to be starting in the summer in our health professions areas. And so we also, again, have students who are getting ready to take their AHECB exams to be able to get into the nursing program and those types of things. So we have actually honestly, we have a pipeline already for this program. Great questions.
Are there any others? Okay, thank you, Dr. Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we will move on to agenda item number 14, a new program, Associate of Applied Science and General Technology by Northwest Arkansas Community College. Dr. Walker will provide background for this agenda item.
This program is proposed by the institution as a general pathway program that allows students to create an interdisciplinary track within existing programs for their desired workforce outcome and skill set. It's a unique program, but it's similar to many other programs in the state. Currently, most community colleges in the state have similar programs that allow students to kind of create their own major or their own track. And it also allows students to bring in additional professional learning hours they may have from other positions they've had in life. Currently, the institution is projecting initial enrollment in summer 2021 of 20 students. And as listed there, 18 graduates will be required by 2024 for the viability standards. Dr. Ricky Tompkins will provide additional information to the board about this agenda item.
Thanks, Dr. Walker. You are stuck with me again. We're excited about this program. This really is looking at direct needs of students. We have been looking for a way to make a more seamless process for students to be able to bring in credit for prior learning. This degree program will allow us to do that. It's built in. And so I think that'll be a benefit to students. We also have a project with the National Science Foundation looking at interdisciplinary degrees. So that project will support this one as well. We also have an integrated design lab, which actually melds art and construction and design, and that's being strongly supported by the business sector, particularly construction, because beyond just construction skills, they're looking for people who can also look at design and those types of things. So we just see this as a huge benefit from Northwest Arkansas and our students. And just let me know if you have any questions.
There are no questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Tompkins, once again. And we will move right along to agenda item number 15, a new program, Technical Certificate in Bicycle Assembly and Repair Technician by Northwest Arkansas Community College. Dr. Walker will provide background for this agenda item.
This proposed program for Northwest Arkansas Community College is taking advantage of the unique nature of this location and also addressing workforce needs around bicycle assembly and repair, particularly around the need for technicians in this area. Currently in the state of Arkansas, there are no similar programs at any institution in the state. The institution has indicated that they will project initial enrollment in summer 2021 of 12 to 24 students, and projections for viability will have to be 18 in 2024. Dr. Ricky Tompkins will provide additional information to the board about this agenda item.
Thanks again, Dr. Walker. To be honest with you, if y'all would have asked me 5 years ago that I would be coming to y'all as a coordinating board to talk about bicycle repair, I would have thought you were crazy. Bicycles up here in Northwest Arkansas, to say it's become not just an industry, but truly a big part of our economy up here, is putting it lightly. We have several companies who are already planning to move into the area that needs these jobs. We're looking at starting salaries in the mid-30s to 40 with an Associate of Applied Science for bicycle assembly and repair. The curriculum that we're going to be using is a partnership with the National Federation of Bicycle Assembly and Repair. We will be the second community college in the nation to be able to use the curriculum. They are supporting some of the initial costs of the program and getting the curriculum in. We've also worked with business and industry, and particularly the Walton Family Foundation, on a facility and redesign of a facility that we have with equipment, and they have committed a little over $1 million for this program, for faculty, for support, for renovation, and for new equipment. This is it's certainly a niche program, but it's one that is being highly supported and highly touted in Northwest Arkansas. I've learned more about bikes, to be honest with you. I thought you rode them, and that was it. But when I hear and sit in presentations and speak with companies, and they're saying on the high end, they are producing bikes that retail cost between $10,000 and $20,000 for recreational use, and people are purchasing these bikes. This is an industry that I knew very little about, but it's something that Northwest Arkansas is embracing, and it's going to be a huge benefit and I think an economic engine for Northwest Arkansas. So I appreciate the support, and any questions. And I thought I saw board member Chad Hooten shaking his head. I shook my head the exact same way, sir, when this conversation started. I don't know who buys a bicycle for $10,000, but they're out there.
I have had this class, and I failed miserably on many Christmas Eves past. Bicycle repair and assembly.
Yes.
Where were you 20 years ago?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm a little behind. I apologize.
I think you're onto something. That's pretty exciting. Of course, Northwest Arkansas is known for its mountain biking, and I think you've got a niche here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Tompkins, I would just echo some of your comments. As I reviewed this, of all the years I've been on this board now, this is the proposal that jumped off the page at me, to see the amount of money going or being put up to support bicycle assembly and repair. Initially, my response was, is this where these funds should go? Is this the correct usage for time, energy, space, money? and had that thought until yesterday. And yesterday I called several people in the industry in preparation for this meeting today. And I was told under no uncertain terms that this has a tremendous amount of support in Northwest Arkansas. And a good friend of mine who's in the industry owns multiple retail shops, questioned whether the graduates would be enough. And so I'm going to take a page out of Dr. Carr's book, and I'm going to ask, in your conversations and in all this support, were you able to gauge the need, and are these 12 to 24 projected enrollees and 18 required graduates by 2024, is that in line with the research you've done on the front end?
That's going to get us started. I'm just going to be honest with you with and I say it this way, with phase one of the facility that we are remodeling now, and I say it's phase one, we'll be able to meet and exceed those numbers. I think that the biggest issue that we're going to have at the beginning is going to be space. We will have more participants than we will have space, because this is, again, highly technical, highly hands-on. So there's only so many folks we can get into a cohort. Phase two, we'll be able to expand and have more participants. And everything we're hearing from business industry in the area, not just retailers, but also those manufacturers who are coming in, pretty much every graduate we put out, they're going to take. And which, if you want economic development, that's economic development at its best. So we see continued expansion of the program. We're just going to have to do phase one for space and then move to phase two. So, but great question.
Thank you, Dr. Tompkins.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Tompkins, one question I had is, you mentioned that you're going to be the second college in the country to offer similar programming. Where's the other one located at?
The other is in Minnesota.
Okay.
That's the location of the National Association. So that's why they worked there first. What really brought them to Northwest Arkansas, of all places in the world, was they have seen how bicycling and all of that has just blown up here.
Oh.
We're hosting international races at this point up here.
Oh.
So they came to us, they called us and said, hey, is there any possibility of us partnering? And we're like, absolutely, let's have some conversations, and here we go.
So no, I commend you for this. And I know that I think you guys are going to be hosting some Olympic trials for biking pretty soon. And so as I know the area is going out and recruiting companies and businesses to be looking at Northwest Arkansas, I think you're going to be a critical point in those discussions of that constant talent pipeline. So thank you so much for this interesting program.
Thank you.
It's Stuart. I'm sorry, it's Stuart Walton. Is he an avid cyclist?
He is.
Or do
Yes.
Yes. And he has been on campus already, looking at the location where we're going to put this, and is going to be coming back probably in a couple of weeks, in about a month, to look at progress, to see how things are going, because they're ready to get this rolling. And their support has just been essential for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is super exciting for the economy of Arkansas, but also I think it's exciting for the health and wellness aspect of how it's going to impact the health and wellness of our Arkansas citizens. So thank you, Dr. Tompkins. Are there any other questions?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, we will move on to agenda item number 16. A new program, a Master in Nursing Science, Case Management by University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. Dr. Walker.
Thank you. This item is expanding an existing successful nursing program at the University of Arkansas for Medical Science. Currently, the existing Masters of Nursing has several tracks, 6. They range anywhere from 40 to 43 credit hours. The program as outlined here is unique in the state. In the terms, it would be the only one in the state. Currently, there are no other programs in the state, and the closest ones we can find are in other states, and they're listed on your agenda item. The institution is projecting initial enrollment in summer 2021 of 12 students with a required viability standard of 12 students graduated by summer 2026. And Dr. Stephanie Gardner, who's the Chief Academic Officer for the University of Arkansas Medical Science, will provide additional information to the board at this time. Dr. Gardner?
Thank you so much. I've actually asked Dr. Patty Cowan, the Dean of the UAMS College of Nursing, to join us, and she has some brief background information about this.
So the proposed case management track in our existing master's program would address workforce needs in Arkansas and the surrounding area. We have gone ahead and completed a needs analysis, and I've included job postings on various websites for case managers that are available. Employee needs survey in Arkansas was conducted, and we have a need for over 100 case managers annually. Case managers would be employed in hospitals, clinics, healthcare systems, insurance company, and community organizations. There is an interest from students, and we anticipate that interest will grow as we see many people are looking for advancement, but not necessarily interested in becoming nurse practitioners, which are our primary tracks here. So the program meets population health needs of improving health outcomes and reducing cost, provides a needed workforce in healthcare, and offers career mobility. Because this is we would be looking to have students enroll in August, and it would be an additional or a late enrollment cycle for us. We're anticipating 12 for the first year with a build up to 20 based on what we know of current interest. UAMS vision is to be the healthiest, Arkansas to be the healthiest state through synergies of education, clinical care, research, and purposeful leadership. And our strategic plan is there for you. And on the next slide, I've identified how the proposed program goes ahead and aligns with our strategic needs in terms of our stakeholders improving health and wellness, improving healthcare cost and patient experience at a lower cost, clinically helping to reduce health disparities. We know that many of our disadvantaged populations have difficulty with navigating the healthcare system, and case managers go ahead and help that. Again, case management improves patient experience, quality, and safety outcomes, and it meets our mission to go ahead and expand healthcare programs to address needed workforce needs in Arkansas, the region, and the nation. For budget items, we're requesting a faculty position with an expertise in case management. The curriculum was designed with input from case managers at UAMS, and Trenda Ray, Chief Nurse Officer, would be interested in a shared position with us for that. We have sufficient space to house faculty and sufficient support services available. There is no grant funding to support the program, and we would be looking at tuition revenue. Many of the courses that students would take are already existing courses in our master's program, and they would flow into those courses. Expected salary of graduates nationally, it's about $80,000 a year. In Arkansas, the average salary for case managers is about $75,000 a year, but the range does vary according to location, education, certifications, additional skills, and of course, years spent in the profession. But the range typically falls between $68,500 and $82,000 a year for a case manager. Do you have any questions for me?
Would you expect these students to be working nurses or going back part-time, or would you expect it to be full-time students?
I think we will have a mix of both full-time and part-time students. And so we have shared a curriculum for full-time, and we would go ahead and extend it out a year if they wanted to go part-time. That is typical for what we see in our nurse administration track, that we have some students who are full-time and some are part-time.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Cowan? Okay, if not, thank you, Dr. Gardner and Dr. Cowan. We appreciate it. We will move on to agenda item 18, a new program, Associate of Applied Science in Network Engineering Technology, Technical Certificate in Network Engineering Technology, Certificate of Proficiency in Supporting Technology by the University of Arkansas at Fort Smith. Dr. Walker.
Yes, did we skip agenda item number 17?
I'm so sorry. I think I did.
Okay, so, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So we'll go back to number 17, a new program in Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing by University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. Sorry about that.
All right. This is a unique program for the University of Arkansas Medical Science. It takes its existing programs in nursing and looks at expanding those in an accelerated manner. Currently, University of Arkansas Medical Science has one of the highest pass rates in terms of the nurse exam, which is called the NCLEX, which you must pass to become a nurse. This program leverages many of the existing expertise and resources of the university to create a unique program in the state. Currently in the state, we have two similar programs, one at Arkansas State University in Jonesboro and another one at Harding University. They have similar enrollments of 10 to 20 students respectively, and institutions has indicated they will have initial enrollment this summer of 20 students. Dr. Stephanie Gardner, the provost at the University of Arkansas Medical Science, will provide additional information to the board at this time. Dr. Gardner?
Once again, this program falls within the College of Nursing, and I've asked Dr. Cowan to share some background information. Dean Cowan.
Thank you. So Arkansas nursing programs fill 99% of available spots in baccalaureate programs, slightly lower, 87% in our associate degree nursing programs and 90% in LPN programs. According to our Bureau of Labor Statistics, the RN is one of the top occupations in terms of growth through 2029. And the Northwest Arkansas Council report, which was released in January of 2019, shows that Northwest Arkansas is behind its regional peers in the number of registered nurses, making location for this in Northwest Arkansas on our Northwest Arkansas campus a good location to go ahead and implement this program. The program meets healthcare workforce needs and graduate employment opportunities. In the analysis for workforce needs, nursing is identified as the most job-rich and well-paid field in contemporary higher education. We would look at enrolling 24 students annually who would then graduate in 15 months. These would be second-degree students who have already completed a baccalaureate degree in another field and are interested in a career change. These programs have been done successfully and are typically in high demand. It again aligns with our mission of synergies of education, clinical care, research, and purposeful leadership. And on the next slide, I specifically identify how it aligns with the various areas in terms of stakeholder, clinical, education, and partnerships. Next slide, please. So additional budget items, simulation center and clinical skills lab equipment are important. $420,000 in funding has already been provided in order for us to get that needed equipment. And there is a renovation of space in space in Northwest Arkansas that would be needed for simulation, which would be both for the College of Nursing and other programs would utilize in Northwest Arkansas. That would be about $1.2 million. We do have some grant funding to support the program. The Harvey and Bernice Jones Charitable Trust has established an endowment to support UAMS nursing programs and students in Northwest Arkansas. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates that the 2019 median salary of registered nurses with a bachelor's degree was $73,000 annually. The mean wage of RNs in Arkansas is $63,000, and that it does include a variety of degrees. The job outlook is the 7% faster than average for growth. This last year with COVID, I think has really gone ahead and emphasized the need for a nursing workforce to meet the healthcare demands of the state of Arkansas. Within the state, we are seeing $12,000 to $24,000 sign-on bonuses in order to get nurses in large healthcare systems. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay, if there are no questions, thank you so much, Dr. Cowan.
Thank you.
And now we will move on to agenda item number 18, the new program of engineering technology and supporting technology at U of A Fort Smith.
Yes, this program, the new Associate of Applied Science and Network Engineering and Technology, is basically a program combined of 3 different programs. It's supported by a technical certificate in network engineering and a certificate of proficiency in support technology. The program is designed to give students training in network systems as well as cybersecurity issues, software and hardware devices. The program leverages existing strengths currently at University of Arkansas at Fort Smith. Also, it utilizes existing lab resources. Currently in the state, we have several other programs at 4 different institutions. This includes Northwest Arkansas College, Black River Technical College, Southern Arkansas University, University of Arkansas Community College at Batesville. Enrollment in these programs range anywhere from 20 students up to 85. The institutions indicated the initial enrollment this summer will be around 20 students. And presenting additional information to the board would be Dr. Ken Warden, Dean of the College of Applied Science and Technology at Fort Smith, University of Arkansas Fort Smith College. Dr. Warden, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, thank you for your time this morning. Our network engineering technology degree is an associate applied science degree that's built in a fashion that demonstrates a career ladder. So we have certificates of proficiency and technical certificates embedded. Those of you who are familiar with the field, this is also aligned with CompTIA industry credentials. So those will be attainable through this process. We have communicated with companies in our region to the likes of ABB, ArcBest, the Arkansas Air National Guard, Mercy, Pinnacle Communications, Gerdau, and Landmark CPA, several others. So our 4-year bachelor's degree in IT is really moving toward ABET accreditation, calculus-based, and computer science, which is solving problems with code. We know that there is a skill gap in network engineering technologies, with skills like fiber splicing, help desk support, networking. There's a lot of jobs in this arena. So we took some of the components that was formerly in our IT computer science bachelor's degree and built an associate degree around this construct using the CompTIA industry credentials. So the expected job growth in Western Arkansas or nationally is about 6% annually between now and 2029. Western Arkansas median salary is about $48,600. One other thing is we're going to offer this program in the context of the new Peak Innovation Center. Some of you may have heard about that, a significant investment from the Fort Smith, citizens of Fort Smith with increased millage in Fort Smith Public Schools, about $14 million there. Other monies coming from other sources bring this project to approaching a $30 million investment in the Fort Smith region. So the university's parlaying our expertise and our program to help this concurrent credit efforts at the new Peak Innovation Center, which will be embedded in partnership with our Western Arkansas Technical Center for concurrent credit. I'm happy to address any questions.
Okay, if there are no questions, thank you, Dr. Warden.
Could I ask one question?
Okay.
Dr. Warden, we've all been reading in the paper about the cutbacks up at UA Fort Smith. I'm assuming this program's worthy of being added, and that are you using some of the reductions in savings in your other programs to pay for this program? How's this being paid for?
So, Mr. Carr, you are correct. And I think that, to the credit of our senior administration, there are some things that you have to do even in times of austere measures to invest strategically. And we think this is one of those. Embedding it in the Peak Innovation Center, it has garnered significant investment prior, and we're able to use some funds and leveraging from the Regional Workforce Grant Round 1 as a sustainability model to continue with these efforts, and also some of those Regional Workforce Grants Round 2 for the infrastructure. We will also be receiving Office of Skill Development funds for serving the concurrent credit students that make this program plausible so that we can get it stood up and as a basis and then continue it to an associate degree and beyond. So, you know, things are tight all across higher education, but we know that these strategic investments have to happen for us to keep our community sound and prosperous.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 19, a new program, Associate of Applied Science in Computer Integrated Machining, Technical Certificate in Computer Integrated Machining, Certificate of Proficiency in Machining Technology, Certificate of Proficiency in Computer Numerical Control Machining by University of Arkansas at Fort Smith. That was a mouthful. All right.
Similar to the other programs listed in the previous agenda item, the institution is leveraging existing strengths it is currently doing in these areas, particularly in terms of machining, particularly in terms of computer integrated machining, and offering new programs around these areas, as well as expanding the opportunities for students in concurrent pipeline. The institution's indicated resources sufficient to offer such a program. Currently in the state, we have about 5 other institutions, or 6, excuse me, other institutions offering similar programs, including Arkansas State Mountain Home, Arkansas State Mid-South, Arkansas State Newport, Black River Technical College, and University of Arkansas Pulaski Tech. The enrollments in these programs range anywhere from 10 students up to 16 students. The institutions indicated initial enrollment in this summer of 2021 of 20 students. Dr. Warden will also provide additional information to the board about this agenda item. Dr. Warden?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Walker. This program, Computer Integrated Machining, builds on a program that we had previously that was sunset probably a decade ago, a machine tool. And it had been sunset due to lack of enrollment. We were approached by industry partners in the advanced manufacturing sector that says, you know, we just got to have this, it's time. And so we took that historically sound or the machine tool program and leveraged it to computer integrated machining. So this will also be at the Peak Innovation Center. So the laboratory spaces and infrastructure will largely be paid by that initiative, where there's also $1 million investment from the Gene Haas Foundation to offset the space and the training aids. We also have other foundation support. And Mr. Card, to kind of about your question earlier, we are also getting industry support through foundation funds to offset salaries because of the nature of having to hire someone with this expertise. It's expensive in higher education to keep up with the market, as you might understand. We will offer this to concurrent credit at the Peak Innovation Center and also up to the associate degree level. Again, it's built in a career pathway model so that we can award certificates of proficiency on to technical certificates, associate's degrees, bachelor's, and on to grad school if you want. So we're excited about this. Industry partnerships are strong here, and that is backed up with some of the funding and investment that they put in this program. We're excited about it. We're excited about being a economic engine, workforce development. You all know in economic development, it's not about infrastructure and green field now. It's about, can you supply the workforce? And we think this is going to position Western Arkansas to be more attractive to advanced manufacturers and give us a competitive advantage to some of those in our region or around the nation. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'm glad to hear that you said that industry is helping. We've heard today, and this is not just for you, but we've heard today several times that industry wants a new program in the state. I think it's critical when industry wants a new program, they need to help pay for that program, if not pay for it in its entirety. I think that's, you know, we have limited resources in our state. To be good stewards of what we have, we need their help. And so thank you for seeking it out in this particular program.
Yes, sir. I totally agree. I think that, you know, higher education is changing at a fast pace, and having our industry partners close and involved in the process and guiding these things as we have in the past, but now it just seems more the need and support across for both to integrate more closely is a real big deal. I think that's where we're seeing our education industry. It seems to be heading in that direction. So.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Warden? Okay, if not, thank you, Dr. Warden. We will now move to agenda item number 20, new program, Master of Design in Design for Collaborative Futures by University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. Dr. Walker.
This is a rather unique program in that it is built by the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville to address a need in terms of creating a terminal degree in design for the state of Arkansas. It is funded through a $120 million endowment from the Walton Family Charitable Trust Foundation. The institution has indicated that the program will be a unique program in that students will have the option of doing 2-year or 4-year tracks in the program, as well as studying unique forms of design. Currently in the state, we have similar programs, not exactly the same, but similar. They're listed in your agenda item that include the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, Arkansas State Jonesboro, Arkansas Tech University, and Henderson State. The enrollments vary anywhere from 10 students to 8 students. The institution has currently indicated a start date of fall 2022 with initial enrollment of 7 students. Dr. Terry Martin, Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs at the University of Arkansas, will provide additional information to the board about this agenda item. Dr. Martin? Terry? Hello?
Oh, I got you. I had to unmute. Did the typical thing of speaking before you unmute. So, yes, as Jesse said, I'm Terry Martin. I'm the Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. The Master of Design program that we're talking about here will create leaders and innovators in both industry and academia. Through the discipline-defined inquiry and collaboration, students will work to become an active force in addressing the big challenges and opportunities in companies and communities, and will go on to act in the highest levels of leadership in higher education and the professional practice. Elements of the program will deal with the user experience, designing for complexity, identity and brand management, speculative technology, product design, and human-centered design practices, among other topics, through an interdisciplinary lens. The local presence of campus partners and multinational corporation headquarters in the region, along with a rich ecosystem of supporting design firms and agencies, perfectly situates our students for collaborative learning opportunities of diversity and curiosity, and the graduates for rewarding high-level career opportunities. As Jesse said, in 2017, we had a $120 million endowment from the Walton Family Charitable Trust Foundation, was awarded to the School of Art. The gift was allocated to 3 primary goals. One is providing financial support for students in the form of scholarship, travel grants, and internship opportunities. A second was engaging the region in outreach and public service through partnerships with Crystal Bridges Museum and of American Art and a variety of community arts organizations. And the third is to expanding the graduate program and degree offerings in art history, art education, and graphic design. And part of this endowment provides research and instructional support acquisitions for the Masters of Design degree, including monographs, periodicals, journals, digital archives, and databases, as well as a growing collection of historically relevant assets related to the design canon will be expanded. Another part of the endowment will provide support for this program in its operation. We expect the starting salaries to be somewhere between 50 and 80K for these students. Any questions?
If there are no questions, thank you, Dr. Martin. We appreciate your information. And we will move on to agenda item number 21, Institutional Certification Advisory Committee Report and Resolutions. Dr. Walker.
Ms. Griffin, this is an agenda item that lists the institutions from out of state who are interested in offering degree programs currently in the state of Arkansas. This includes 5 new colleges from out of state. Your agenda item lists the locations of those colleges with 19 different degrees or certificate programs, which are listed in your agenda item, and page starting on 21-1, I believe.
Okay, thank you. We will move on to agenda item number 22, letters of notification, which begins on page 22-1 of the agenda item book.
These are letters of notification that were sent here to the since January 2020's board meeting. It represents 20 different institutions submitting programmatic changes, additions, adding coursework, minors, deletions, as well as administrative units in the since January 2020. Currently, there are 64 items there, starting on 22-1. And these things outline all these items I mentioned before. Also in there, starting in the latter part of 22-23 are the institutional certifications for out-of-state institutions that include 7 out-of-state institutions, including religious, private, or for-profit, that submitted applications in terms of recertification or new certifications or institutional changes to operate from out-of-state in Arkansas.
Now, agenda item number 23 are letters of intent.
Yeah, just a question, Dr. Walker, and this, I'm backing up just a little bit here, just because this is personal information. I see where Southern Cal is coming to is going to be here offering a Master's of Academic Medicine. What is that? Do you have any idea? I've never heard of that before.
Alana, are you on the board meeting? Alana Bowes?
That's okay. Just, you can let me know sometime privately. I've just never heard of such a degree. A Master's of Academic Medicine.
Dr. Carr, we'll get you a summary before the close of business.
Okay, no big deal. Thank you.
Not a problem. So these are letters of intent. It is notification to institutions that an institution is planning to submit a proposal for a new program, and it's required to go to the chief academic officers at least 30 to 60 days before the proposal reaches us to give them opportunity to comment, object, or make suggestions to that institution. And those are starting on, I believe 24 or is it 23? I can't remember. I believe it's 24. No, 23. 23-1 in your agenda book. And Ms. Griffin, these items are recommended for approval by senior staff at the Arkansas Division of Higher Education.
Dr. Walker, are there any other questions out there? Okay, if not, do I hear a motion to recommend approval of agenda items 11 through 21 to the full board?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Agenda items 11 through 21 will be recommended to the full board. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the academic committee meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. I've got 11:20, and before we move on to